Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review Live. Yes, we live, y'all. Who out there? Anybody out there? Talk to me. I talk back. Yes, Real House. What? No, not Real House. Who am I talking about? Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yes, season 10, episode. Was it 6? OMG, wasn't it good? I got a lot to say, y'all. We may be here a minute. It may be at least an hour, I think. Because I took some copious notes, baby. I have the word copious notes. Copious. Detailed as much as I remember, y'all. Now listen. We're just going to take a minute to reflect on one of the greatest NBA players of all time thus far. Actually, it is what it is, all time. After we all gone on to glory, they gonna be still talking about the incomparable 824 Kobe Bryant, Jelly Bean Bryant, as Jelly Bean Jr. We miss you, especially me. No more than your family, of course, and your friends, but listen, I am dedicating this day and have dedicated this day from early this morning, actually to the break of morning. Hello, if you on my Instagram and carrying on. 8/23, I forgot what year he was born, until 1/26/20. It took me 3 years to look at his picture, say his name, not break down. Let me tell you, purple and gold runs through my veins. It's a family tradition of Lakers. LA Lakers. Everybody wants to be a Laker who wants to get into the NBA. I don't care where they're from. They all want to come over there. It's the greatest organization of all times. 17 rings. Hello. The best record, what they call it? Back in 77, I think it was, the best consecutive win, the most consecutive wins. I mean, must I remind y'all the NBA logo is a Laker, Mr. West? Hello? Can I get a round of applause for the incomparable Kobe Bryant? Let's not forget the 81 points he scored. What, he had about 5 rings? Remember the 3-peat, y'all? Remember the 3-peat? Well, that wasn't Lakers' first 3-peat. Remember back in the Showtime with Magic and Kareem and Byron Allen and all them other folks. I can't remember their names. But listen, all of them, every last one of them, even the ones we really didn't like, that have come through, made a mark in history. But one of the One of the best that ever did it. One team, mind you. He only been on one NBA team. He never switched up. Hmm. Ain't ever switched up. Ain't never been asked to leave. Ain't ever wanted to leave. Him and his baby girl, Gianna. Lord have mercy. I swear, when I got the news, let me tell you what happened. When I got the news, I was walking into my dad's house. I don't know what I was doing. What was going on that day? What was going on that day? I don't remember. But I don't know why I was coming over there. It was anyway. I walked in, they just staring at the TV. I'm like, what's going on, y'all? They was like, look. I was like, what? What happened? I'm looking at the TV on the wall. I'm like, plane crash. Who crashed? As I look, and I said, I stopped dead in my tracks as I was walking to sit on the sofa. I said, I know you lying. What? I mean, tears. And to see the guys coming off the plane from wherever, they was coming in from a game somewhere, playing somewhere, and I can speak about it now. I can actually say something about it now. But just know, over here at RAERAEs place, there will never, excuse me, I just have some water, y'all. Pardon me for burping. There will never, ever be any Kobe slander, nor any Lakers slander. And if you want to go toe to toe, talk to me. I talk back. It's all good. But there will never be no slander, ever, as long as this channel is alive and wherever else I'm at. IG, where else am I? Where else am I? What's that place? Threads and Blue Sky. That's it. YouTube, IG, Threads, and Blue Sky. I ain't nowhere else. There will never ever be any Kobe slander. Just know we miss you, we love you, and it will always be Kobe Day on 8/24. Forever. Woo. Miss you, man. All right, now, love and marriage, husband. Now, I have a few unpopular opinions, but that's okay. Every opinion ain't got to be popular. Everything ain't got to be liked, because everything ain't for everybody. Let me tell you. I think if y'all been listening to these commentaries I've been giving, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know how I feel. Y'all already know. For those who are new, thanks for coming through. What's up, aunties and unks? Those are the folks that's the names I've given, because for the most part, the viewership is aunties and unks level. Thank you for those born before 90. And thank you to everybody else. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, please. Get some more subscribers. Thank you. I need about 250 left. Yes, no, 255. Okay. Let's just make it 256 so it can be one over. Okay. Come on through. So listen. Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 10, episode 6. Here we go. So we left off where Letitia left Nell sitting there because Letitia couldn't stand the heat that was in the kitchen of Nell's kitchen. Letitia was like, I'm out of here. I can't stand. Now, first of all, Nell did not raise her voice not one time, although Letitia heard her yell. Girl, who are you listening to? Is somebody in your ear? Is your AirPod in? What's going on? Because not just me, but everybody I heard talk about this show and said, Letitia, what about yelling at you? girl, is that your mechanism for trying to get out of a situation? Are you trying to control the narrative like you've been doing? I think so. Now don't, for those who are new, don't get me wrong. I don't know hate train. I ain't on none of them hate trains running through these YouTube streets. None of that. This is my solo opinion about these folks. Okay. Again, I ain't on no hate train. This is just my personal opinion. Letitia, girl, what nobody yelling at you? She was talking to you just like I'm talking to you right now. Calm, cool, collected. You couldn't handle that because you were stirred up. Now, if everything was right over in your household and how you felt about your marriage, you wouldn't have got all jumbled up because you would have been cool, calm, and collected. Like, I ain't got no worry. I don't even know why you had to say something to me. That's how you come at a heifer who's trying to come at you. But those who are bothered show it. And girl, you got 2 MBAs, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna need to see the 2 MBAs come out of your mouth and is displayed in your behavior. Because right now I don't see MBA, I see associate's degree. Girl, I'm just saying. No shade to those who have associate's degree, but y'all know what I'm talking about. What's next is what, a doctorate? But girl, but I know she ain't getting that. Listen, Letitia comes back to the convo, upset and crying and carrying on about rumors affecting her marriage. How could a rumor affect your marriage if your marriage wasn't shaky? Girl, again, truth hurts. And it's so telling. All of this circumstantial and data and information that's coming through, that coming from this way and that way. Yeah, girl, because you're bothered because you believe it, but your husband got you so trained to bring him back specific type of receipts that you feel as though what you've seen is enough. In my opinion, I believe it. I believe it's true. Like, she was crying in the car. She don't want to believe it, but she believes it. Again, ain't nobody trying to make her leave her man. Just don't try and make us feel the way you feel. Well, don't try and make us think that you don't think nothing's going on when you do. You and your homegirl Kimmy. I'm gonna get to her in a minute. So they finish out their conversation, right? And Nell says she's a certified life coach, and Letitia is shading her in front of her, and more so in the confessional, talking about, well, I'm gonna need to see some proof. Well, we need to see proof of your 2 MBAs because I ain't seen proof of it in your actions nor your vocabulary. I'm just saying, I'm gonna need to see proof. And that's on real. I've been saying that way before she said she needed to see proof of Nell's certified life coach, whatever that is, child. I don't know. But listen, I think it's sort of like a double standard Letitia's taking, where she can question Chris Fletcher, but the fact that her husband, first of all, I do believe she thinks she's a part, that she can pull the double standard card because she's a woman. But he was not talking, he meaning Chris Fletcher was not talking about Letitia Scott. Chris Fletcher was talking about Marceau Scott. So let Marceau Scott handle that. But again, like Neil said, with that liquid courage running through her running through her lymphatic system and carrying on, and affecting her nervous system, making her think that she can question him, and then got molded. Your husband checked you, Chris checked you, Nail checked you. Who else got to check you in order for you to get your ish together, girl? So that was it. So they made nice, and Letitia wanted to feel like she was winning by, by reiterating Fernell not to yell at her, because this is where she have her son's PTA meeting and she don't want to be embarrassed. Well, you the one embarrassing yourself, causing a scene, walking out, coming in, and carrying on. And again, you the one causing a scene. And I can't wait till y'all hear how she told this story to her husband. Ooh, like I said, this episode is a little lengthy. We may be here a minute or two, child. Okay, so I thought that's said and done. We see Maurice visits Kimmy. Now hold your horses, y'all. Hold your horses. Because I got words for both of these folks. I got words. I got words. Ooh, I got words, child. I got words. And they're not that nice. Okay. Well, they're not that politically correct. And, again, I'm on no hate train, but what I see is what time is it? It's some bullshit. Yeah, it's after 10 minutes. I just wanted to make sure. Because, child, even though I monetize, I sure ain't trying to get no strikes or nothing. Anyway, so like I said, Maurice visits Kimmy, saying he's going to meet up with Martell, and Kimmy reacts, like, really? Do you really think that's going to work? He's acting out just as business as usual, as he usually does. This is what Martell does when he pretty much don't get his way, or when he's embarrassed, he acts out. So check this out, y'all. Kimmy points out. Now, first of all, let me say this. When Kimmy got on makeup, she is stunning. Now, I'm not saying she's not in real life. What I'm saying is, you know how makeup enhances your beauty? See, makeup ain't supposed to make you look like a totally different person. It ain't supposed to, create a catfish moment. We've seen Kimmy without makeup. She's beautiful. And when she has on makeup, she's stunning. She has these beautiful African features on her face with some mulatto skin tone, almost white color, almost a European tone. You know what I'm saying? And nothing's wrong with that. Now, her look is exotic, in my opinion, where it's not just somebody from over there that's exotic. No, she has these features that are contrasting, yet and still they come together. And, she's nicely shaped. It ain't all excessive anywhere, but she got it going on where it counts. Hello. And when she's wearing these wigs, it really looks like her hair. And that's the whole point. When you wear a wig, it's supposed to look like it's yours. I learned that from watching Naomi Campbell over the years. Yeah, we know it's a wig, weave, whatever the case. But the fact that over the years, it looked like it was coming out of her scalp, that's how you do it. All these wigs, hair hats and shit. No, it ain't supposed to look fake. That's the whole point. But when these wigs be looking now, if I see one more part in the middle, do they have to all have parts in the middle? That's the dead giveaway. But the whole point is, even if the part was in the middle, it's supposed to look like it's coming out of your scalp. Now, ladies and whoever else is wearing these wigs, please make it look like it's coming out your scalp. But back to Kimmy. When she has on her, when she's beautified, she is stunning. Shouts out to Kimmy. Okay, now, back to the bullshit. So Maurice visits Kimmy, and Kimmy reacts to Maurice, saying he's going to meet up with Martell to see where his head is at, because he thinks something really is wrong with Martell. What? In my opinion, that right there tells me that Maurice got something to hide and he's trying to square it away. He's trying to square it away with Martell. Now, all of this is after the interview that Martell and Ariane did with the girl who said she slept with that she was Marceau's jump off, and by happenstance, a threesome with Marceau and Maurice happened in Vegas. And if y'all ain't saw the interview, go watch it. It is entertaining. I believe her. It was the interviewers that caused aches within everybody, in my opinion, because everybody felt the way. Well, I'll just say folks felt the way about the interviewers. Therefore, the interviewee could not be believable either. Why not? In a court of law, testimony is acceptable as fact. No other receipt needs to be given. In case y'all didn't know, she don't need to provide pictures, audio, or whatever, or to identify what somebody looks like naked. It would have been nice to know, well, he looks like this, is shaped like this, and yeah. Now that should, again, as the interviewers during the interview, I kept saying, well, is she gonna describe somebody's body part? That would have, listen, if she would have described anybody's body part unclothed, or any identifying marks on someone's body that could only be known if that person had no clothes on. I'm just saying, give us something more than just what we heard. Just, even though this was 10, 12 years ago, as of last year, I'm just saying, give us some more identifying information so that the wives would have questions with a frying pan in one hand and a chimney poker in the other. Okay, sit down. I want to talk to you. I saw the interview. Nah, the kids ain't here for a reason, because I need some answers. So sit your flat ass down. We need to have a conversation. That's both Kimmy and Tisha talking to their respective husbands. Had that girl gave any identifying information about what their husbands look like. But back to this episode, child. I'm just saying, it was, for me, it was the interviewers that caused problems with that interview. Anyway, Kimmy said, now listen to this. Kimmy clocked it, and I clocked Kimmy. Watch this. Listen to this. Kimmy points out how Maurice was thrown under the bus by Martell. During that, she's telling him, and you were thrown under the bus with all this. Now, how can you throw somebody under the bus if they weren't involved in the transportation? Throwing someone under the bus means that he ratted you out. Did y'all catch that? I did. And Maurice just excused what she said. I just want to get to the bottom of why he's doing all of this. It's called retaliation, fool. That's the bottom of it. He feels slighted, as he said at that park last season, and he wants some revenge, vengeance. The Lord is not pleased. Did y'all catch that? So Kimmy, Kimmy is smart. She's smarter than him. Like she checked him last episode or 2 episodes ago. No, the answer is, in regards to having, your side chick sign an NDA. No, the answer is, you don't have any side chicks. Well, he said his side chick ain't signing nothing. So what that tell you, Kimmy? Clock that T. Now, just in this conversation, Kimmy clocked, but she didn't address it, because of the other. See, Kimmy ain't trying to let us know that she knows her husband is outside or was outside at that moment. We've already know she's excused him cheating on her down to that ATL trip in 2015 with the linebackers and stuff. Karen, I remember that. Mm-hmm. Now, like Tisha, she just wants to, I guess, in the words of Miss Evelyn Braxton, let him cheat in peace if you ain't gonna leave him. If stop bothering him and let him cheat in peace. That's what it sounds like to me. They are letting their men cheat in peace, and they sick and tired of us bringing them info that we know is true. Well, that we believe is true. Not that we know, because we wasn't there, but we believe from what has been presented. And for the life of me, I still don't understand why a wife, meaning Kimmy and Letitia, would not want to hear what another woman is saying about their husband, especially when it comes down to them saying that they slept with their husband. If it was me, I want to be there for the interview. I want to meet her. I want to talk to her. By the way, yeah, hi. I'm Kimmy Grant. Scott, how you doing? I want to be present for the whole, and if I can't be present, I'm gonna listen to the thing. And do you have any outtakes, anything on the cutting room floor that maybe I can listen to or look at? Also, I want to know what somebody's saying about my husband, especially some woman who says she slept with him. The hell? Talking about Kenny, talking about she only watched 20 minutes of it. Girl, if that's true, girl, bye. And the teacher talking about she didn't see it. So why are you on your live on Instagram or whatever that was with your husband denouncing anything that was in that video? What are you denouncing if you've never seen it? Stupid. You was going along with your philandering husband, in my opinion. Philandering. Listen, ain't no husband of mine gonna keep telling me you went somewhere with a friend, and then at the last breaking moment tell me that it's Chris Fletcher. No. First of all, Letitia, let's just back up real quick. Since they brought that same episode I've been talking about for the past couple of seasons, let's bring back that episode real quick when she was confronting him about the picture of her mama's shoulder. Now listen, which is why she's upset with Nell. Well, this ain't the first time her husband said something crazy about my husband. Remember the trip in ATL? Yeah, the same trip that he said he left Marceau at a certain time. Marceau said no, he was with me and up until the night, which is why I had to spend the night. Remember that, y'all? So what? And we never got a resolve. I wonder, are they gonna bring that up again? Okay, so if he said he left you around 2:00, talking about you had dinner with Chris Fletcher. No, Chris Fletcher had dinner with his wife. So who was you having dinner with? The person that took a picture of your back? Anyway, see, we can go back and forth, but we ain't going to. Not about that. I'm moving on from that. So Kimmy clocked it, and I clocked Kimmy. Girl, I clocked it. Did y'all clock it too? Kimmy says spending time with Monster should be your priority versus trying to waste time with Martell. I wholeheartedly agree. How about you start worrying about that grown person and take care of your junior? That's nickname Monster. Make sure that name Monster ain't going with him to college. Ain't that nothing? Kimmy said that Martell doesn't respect you, Maurice. And that Martell was right. Outing Maurice. But he wanted me with him anyway, I guess. Moving on. Letitia and her daughter Macy, she's about 13 years old. She wants her to step up her marketing skills on the hair product line. All right. Since you're online anyway, you might as well go ahead and promote your product. First of all, that should have already been done. How long has she been online? That should have been the first reason why she was online. How long has hair product been out? 2 years now, girl. Excuse me. So don't make it seem like now is a perfect time for her to see again. What is going on with these 2 MBA degrees? Now all of a sudden the girl is been online. Now you want to make it seem like you should be doing it since you online. Well, how long has little girl been online? That should have been the first thing she was doing online versus trying to connect with friends and lollygag and gag-a-log and all other stuff. Or it should have been the same doggone, as soon as the product was out. If the girl was online, that's what she should have been promoting. Or better yet, you do it on her page. Give her some time adjustment for her to do it on her own. Then, you know what I'm saying? Talking about it's about time that you start promoting. Girl, again, how long has a little baby girl been? Then we had a little, moment between her and her dad, some banter. Then they gave her a confessional. I'm like, oh shoot. She growing up. She got a confession. Not even the eldest boy got a confessional. And he going away to college. He ain't getting no confession. Why didn't the elders get a confession? Anyway, I don't live over there. None of my business. But I'm just wondering, why didn't the elders get, promoting me? Yeah, I'm going to college, whoop de woo. I got this, I got that, I got, doing this, I'm doing that. Whoop de woo. You know what I'm saying? So we can big up the young man. Just like we bigging up the young woman. Hold on, I'm gonna drink this water. Hold on. Woo, child. Yeah, it was triple digits today, y'all. Whew. Anyway, I wish we could have seen the young man, the eldest of the Chillins, being in the confessional. It would have been nice, as the kids grow up and grow out. Anywho, what else happened, child? Oh, then after she left, giving her dad all kind of smart mouth. Marcel, Letitia tells him that she met with Nell. And then she lied about what was said, trying to make herself seem like she held her own in the conversation. Now, I thought when she left from, the first, when she left and walked out of the conversation, she immediately got on the phone with Marcel. That's what I was thinking. Oh, she got on the phone with Marcel, which made her turn around and come back. But apparently not. Apparently not. She said, she thought about it and she said, no, I respect her a little bit. So let me go ahead and end this conversation the right way. Okay. So she tells Marcel, that Nell was yelling at her and telling her, I'm not your child. Context, please. Context. Making Marcel believe something different about Nell. You see how trifling happens be? This don't sound like this coming from somebody with 2 MBAs. I'm just saying. Does it to you? Let me know in the comments. Marcel pretty much validated Nell in the fact that Letitia complained about, Letitia denied being in Chris Fletcher's face. Well, your husband validated another woman against you again on that worldwide internet national television. How you feel about that, Letitia? Mm-hmm. It's okay to be wrong, sweetheart. It's okay. All I'm saying is just because you're trying to save face about your troubled marriage doesn't make it okay for you to lie on someone who was not doing those things you said she was doing. It makes you look real childish and immature, like somebody who don't have 2 MBAs. Then Marcel asked about Latricia. Why are you asking about Latricia? What does she got to do with anything? So then Letitia says, "Oh well, Latricia believes in transparency like Nell, so they pretty much they're on this transparency thing together. You know, they kind of related anyway. So, but I don't see how she can be transparent. But what we found out about her, ha 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 ha. See how Letitia throws people, throws rocks, but she now let's see if Latricia, now mind you was a little correct, but let's see if Latricia confronts that. She probably won't. She'll see another time. But then again, I think she should. Like, why is your husband asking about me, and why are you discussing me like that when I don't even discuss you, let alone discuss you like that? It's just a FYI, that part. So you won't come back at me talking about, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you discuss me. Listen, Heifer, I ain't the one to be played with, nor is my name to be played with. I've done nothing to you unless you want me to. I wish Latricia would say something like that. Anyway, more lies from Letitia to her husband, trying to make herself feel, or trying to portray herself as someone who wasn't bothered. Marcel already know who Letitia is, and that's why he's been treating her the way he's been treating her, because he knows he can get away with murder. And she like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? He got her well trained because she's reporting back to him lies instead of telling him anything that other than her leaving, coming back, well, I respect her, so I came back. No. You ran because you were upset and you didn't want to handle the conversation. See, someone who has 2 MBAs is more in touch with emotional intelligence, so they can admit when they're wrong. They can uh, tell, they can report on a conversation they have had. They can actually admit when they're wrong, but bring it back so that they're still in the way of appearing to whomever they're talking to as if they're on the right path. But I don't think Letitia knows how. Because either she lying about something, she got the liquid courage and she's making a fool out of herself. But when she's quiet and just listening, that's the best part of Letitia. I'm sorry. I have to say it. This she's outright lying on Nell, outright lying to her husband. But then again, he lying to her too. So maybe that's what she's doing. Some sort of get back. I don't know. It's kind of weird sounding, but who knows in her psyche. Oh, then first of all, why is Daphne is being thrown under the bus just because she's Martell's friend? Marcel was telling Tisha to watch Daphne just because. Now, here go Marcel acting like Melody Cherie. Anybody associated with Martell gotta be watched. Well, you better watch your brother because he's still trying to be that man's friend. Next, moving on, Chris and Nell shop for grandkids. Oh, then they talk, they got to, chit chat, chit. Chris told her that he met up with Lance, and he just told him, stand on your own 2 feet. And I just had to talk with him and everything. Then Nell said, well, I had a meeting with Letitia. Pretty much she told the truth. It wasn't, but what was strange was how it was, how they spoke about the interview. Pretty much Chris was like, so they didn't believe anything out of the interview? As if they should. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder. It was a real quick scene, y'all, and I ain't even gonna hold you on that. But for Chris and Nell to pretty much agree that, so they didn't find anything, so they found something wrong with the interview. Just it just sounded weird, as if the interview was on point and they should not have an issue with it, other than that it was broadcasted. Like, oh my, I'm gonna need some clarification from the Fletchers on that interview. Anyway, Martell meets up with Maurice. Now this is real interesting. Mm-hmm. Martell meets up with Maurice. Talking about he may marry. Now they're doing all this small talk and everything after this interview situation, because pretty much that's what Martell believes he was summoned by Maurice to talk about. Maurice, is having all this, small talk, when it was all about trying to figure out, why did you put this interview out? But anyway, yeah, Martell telling everybody who would listen, he may be marrying Ariane. It looks like it's headed that way. We taking our steps towards. I'm trying. I'm a one woman man now, so that's the next step. But they're just moving at a certain pace. So he didn't go into any, or at least they didn't show us going into detail about him putting her through school, him moving her and her excuse me, 2 kids into the investment property he couldn't get nobody to buy. And it makes sense, because and the whole point of not living together now because it's not right, yada yada, because it really ain't. Because moving her in with you while you have your kids every other week, it could be a bit much. But at the same time, if he's already paying for that place, again, and I'm glad that he's paying for her to go to finish school, as he should. You know what I'm saying? He put her in this predicament. She was willing and able, but he put her in this predicament. So he should do something for her more so. And, and something like this is nothing for him financially, from my understanding. Now, I didn't see no financial records, but at the same time, it would be beneficial for him to put her through school. It will be beneficial for them to live in that house. It makes sense in my opinion. But then again, I don't know everything going on with all of them. I'm just glad that they're finally making moves of being a family, since that he didn't want to let her go in the first place. So if he didn't want to let her go, and the wife then gave him to her, that would be the next step. I mean, who else who else is gonna take him serious? That maybe that's what it was that he realized. Trying to meet up with other women and carrying on, and just, it makes sense, since you it makes sense. Duh. I mean, that will be the next step. Anyway, so Martell feels like he did the interview because, well, first let's say this. Martell said that he kept stalling before the interview came out, switching up dates, hoping that Marceau and Letitia would call him and apologize because of what they said about him uh, sleeping with men in college and co-signing it, and just Marceau saying how horrible of a person Martell is in business and in real life IRL. And so, he was hurt by it. He was embarrassed, ashamed, as he should be, because they're pretty much correct as far as I know. He ain't sued them for defamation. And it's strange that he's telling Maurice and them to sue him and Ariane and that woman for defamation of that interview. It goes both ways, Mr. Holt. Hello. Just like what was said about you, if it defames your character, I'm gonna think you be the first one in court. Oh no, this is defamation. First of all, it will be easy with well, I would say this. Unless there was some man out there who was willing to cooperate, that would be the only thing that could stop him in his tracks from winning a defamation lawsuit. Anybody can say you bad in business and yada yada. I mean, it would take a lot to drum up all of the evidence, but easier said than done as far as somebody coming out the woodwork. Somebody, yeah, him and I messed together back in college, and what and what Letitia said was true. I'm just saying. I know it may mess up his manhood, but how many times have we heard about people doing stuff in college that they wouldn't, that they're no longer, that they only did just to experiment and didn't want to do it no more and didn't? Hello. Or in their 20s, that's in your young formative years, you did something that you swear not to do again, or what you don't want to do it again, regardless of whatever. You just ain't doing it again and don't want to. you know so I mean, it is what it is. So now he talking about sue me, sue us here, as he said, Martell said to Maurice, sue us. Then Maurice talking about, well, what the walls, what were the color of the walls in the room? What was the color of the rug in the room? How do you know it was a rug in the room, Maurice, if you wasn't there? Why are you trying to have him confirm colors of a room that you and your brother was doing a threesome with this lady with, if you wasn't there? Somebody help me out. Then Maurice had the audacity to say, what do I look like naked? Because it's very distinct. And if you say it, then I know you've seen it before. Have you seen me naked before? And Martell, oh man, I ain't trying to hear. Yeah. Because Martell said he was there. At first he said he wasn't. Let's be honest. Martell said he went gambling after all of that was going on. Well, while that was going on. Now, first of all, how would he know that was going on at the time? I'll say this. He could have, seen it starting and then left. Or he could have known when he got back that something had happened. Either way, I want to know, why does Maurice question Martell about the colors of certain objects in a room that he was supposedly not in? Yeah, I'm just clock that T. Clock that T. Child, what else was going on in that thing? Then Maurice tells a DUI story. First of all, we don't care, really. The only person that was really concerned about that was the person who ain't on the show no more, talking about the color of your lips. Talking about you have some red lipstick on. So I don't even want to go through all that DUI stuff because it's really neither here nor there. But what I will say is, Martell said, sue us if we're lying. I know that's right. Next, we got Marcel, Maurice, and Kimmy having lunch. Maurice was like, "Fuck Martell and everything he, everything in his feelings." Because Maurice is like, "I want the man. There's something going on with this man for him doing all this." So Maurice is really trying to play Captain Save him, but both Marceau and Kimmy was like, "Stop trying to save somebody who don't give a ish about you or your household or your feelings. How about that?" Because first of all, can't nobody talk that greasy about my significant other, about me, and think I'm gonna be okay with anything that they do and say. I don't give a damn. Like Marcel said, fuck him and his feelings. Moving on. And Kim was like, ditto. Oh boy. So then Maurice wants to let them know. Yeah, I question him about what does my stuff look like because it's very distinct. But you didn't tell them about the color of the rug and the color of the walls, like you told uh like you told Martell. Because again, Kimmy Smart, she would have clocked it. But then again, it probably would have made Marceau say something or act, oddly in front of Kimmy. So yeah, it's really convenient how he left that part out. Marceau said in his confessional he think Kimmy's more on point about Martell than Maurice is. Yeah, both of y'all are. No way. He didn't already, told your wife she's stupid in front of you, then talks about her in a way that no man should talk about another man's wife. Nah, fuck him and his feelings. And that's pretty much where we're at with love. And we did it under an hour. All right. I thought I was gonna be here a minute, but I guess not. When I run my mouth, I have something to say. I get to the point, and that's it. That's all. Again, we want to say rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. We miss you. We love you, and we hope that you are dunking and slamming. You and your baby girl is up there talking with your dad. We wish you were here. We are still in mourning, and bless your wife and your children and all the rest of your family who had a personal relationship with you. We miss you, man. I don't think I understand how I feel about this. Woo! 5.5 years. Whew. My whole family was devastated. Lord have mercy. Anyway, we gonna leave. We just don't end this live, child. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. All day, all day. All day.